The amazing Matoro Inika. Is this the best Toa set ever created? Cause, I don't know man, I really like this toy. Something about him just hits different. In today's video, I want to discuss why I love this set. And then I want to talk about the pieces that come in this set. Let's see how you could use them to make your own incredible creations. And then we'll round off the video with some revamps of Matoro Inika. Here we go. Matoro is just the best. I mean, everyone loves Matoro. You know, I go so far as to say he's my favorite Toa out of all the Toa Inika, maybe even of all time. First things first, Matoro comes with this Zoser Launcher, and this was a great blaster. The ability to store multiple Zoser in this larger cage tower, amazing. I mean, it's so much fun to play with. But it does have a few issues. The Zoser have a tendency to fly out of the top, not just when you're shooting them. Sometimes even just posing Matoro, they'll fall out. Or I don't know, you'll take him off the shelf, the hand droops a little bit, and all the Zoser roll on the floor, roll under the table, and you lose them forever. But hey, a teeny tiny fix like this, you get these two pieces, you put them on the top, suddenly they're locked in place, and you're all good. Now you can pose him with so much more ease, and you don't have to worry about the Zoser falling out. How wonderful. Also, major shout out to the classic Toa Anika Frame. This of course debuted in this wonderful wave of sets. And this frame, it gifted us with really posable limbs that can be armored up and customized with ease. And also we got that wonderful Anika torso. We've seen this basic design in pretty much every single wave of Bionicle following the Toa Inika. It's just so versatile, it's so customizable. It's easy to use in MOCs. I built plenty of MOCs that use Anika torsos back in the day. It's perfect for MOCs and it looks really, really good. And yeah, I think that's why I like Matoro and all of the Toa Inika so much. The overall vibe of this frame, it's so heroic, it's so noble, and it's also quite knight-like. Their very presence embodies the look and feel of a hero. They look like a knight in shining armor. And yeah, that's what I like to see in my Toa toys. Noble, mighty, heroic people. And I think Matoro captures that the best. This noble broadsword is fitting for a protector of the realm. His mask has some very soft and caring qualities to it. But also things like these circles at the base, they kind of look a bit like a gas mask of some kind. Which looks pretty cool. He just embodies a very caring but also very cool look. Yet both in story and as a toy, he's the definition of a hero. He just looks awesome. And I tell you what, the pieces that come in this set, they're pretty awesome as well. Let's see what we get and how you can use them in your next MOC. So I mentioned Matoro's mask. Let's start with that one. I love it. But if we turn it around, you can get some really good use out of it. For example, Eclipse Caller. They have this incredible creation. And the head design that they've got going on. They've simply taken Matoro's mask, but flipped around, and they've combined it with Witch Doctor's amazing skull mask. These two masks together, man, there's something strange and creepy about how this looks. A head design with no eyes at all. Instead, at the top, you just get some weird wrinkled lines. Ooh, it's perfect for a character like this. And hey, this MOC also uses some of those white Zoser cage pieces. If you look at the tail design, you can see that a bunch of these have been used. And yeah, it looks a fair bit like bones. If anything, it actually looks a bit like a rib cage, so you could use this as a rib cage as well if you want. But yeah, the idea of a skeletal tail like this, frickin' sick. Matoro has such a good color scheme. The way that it incorporates trans-medium blue to reflect his ice powers, exceptional. And yeah, we have pieces like these larger trans-medium blue limbs to thank for that. How could you use these? Well, the awesome Aiden Builds has a large supply of them and, you know, he simply just scatters them on the floor, and in this context, they look a lot like water. Then you surround that water with some beautiful landscape. Man, you know, making terrain and trees and nature, it's not an easy thing to do. But to then do it with almost exclusively Bionicle pieces, that's even harder. This is some incredible design and some genius part usage. And then we get some translucent hand sockets as well. Here's 2 ways that you could use them. Leonardan has created this nice demon creature. And looking at their limbs, we can see a nice gradient of colours. We got dark blue at the top, which transitions into mutter blue. Then it goes into medium blue and trans blue. Colour gradients like this, they're just so pretty. And of course, today we have so many different shades of blue, like azure, medium azure, teal, all sorts of stuff. So if you wanted to, you could continue this gradient even further. That would look pretty dope. If not, do what Todd has done and build ZooPlankton using these pieces. Here's what this is based off of, and yeah, trans medium blue is pretty much the perfect colour to match this. So look, if you've got a few other translucent blue pieces in your collection, you might as well put them all together into one MOC, and you'll get a really funky looking colour scheme. I love it. Then we move over to Matoro's chest piece. This is rather nice, but how else could you use it? Well, Ron Folkers has once again used it for a torso design. And sure, that's not all that different to the set, but he's added a few extra touches to it, and I think it makes it look so much better. For example, we've got 2 of these Patu Nuva foot weapons on either side of this piece. And man, that increases the overall size of this piece, and it perfectly rounds off the edges just that little bit more. Sweet. We also get a nice silver claw in the center, and this of course comes on G2 Liwa. See how just adding a few subtle enhancements can actually elevate the design way more? And finally, Matoro's sword. How could this be used? Well, Mitch Builds continues to use this as a sword, but they've added a larger handle onto the bottom, and they've even kind of flared out the sides a little bit more. I really like how the edges of this sword, they have that repeated pattern, kind of like layered metal. This same pattern is quite reminiscent of the armor that we see on the torso and the legs. It shares that layered look. See, isn't that cool? You get your sword and your armor having consistent textures. That way everything ties together. There's a good sense of unity. That's some really good design. And of course it's good design. Mitch Builds made it. He's great. Go watch his YouTube channel. And that's how you can use all these pieces. Now, let's see how you could revamp Matoro. This one here was built by Lesius Archsage, and it's called Supercharged Matoro. Now remember, Matoro and the other Toa Inika, they were transformed into Toa because they were struck by lightning from the Red Star. I kinda love the idea that each of the Toa Inika characters, they have some more noticeable lightning powers, or at least just lightning in their aesthetic. It fits in with the story quite nicely. And hey, you gotta admit, lightning flowing out of Matoro's arms, that might just be the coolest thing ever. And hey, these lightning pieces even kind of match his eyes. I also dig all these new additions of black on the MOC. It's kind of like he's wearing some sort of leather coat, like he's in the Matrix. Yeah, there's something very edgy about this, which personally, I adore. Once again, this fits right at home with the Toa Inika. I mean, look at some of these marketing images. Standing in the rain, lightning in the background, everything's dark. Yeah, an edgy leather coat like this, it's perfectly fitting. Man, see, this revamp does an incredible job of dipping into the story behind this character, and using that for inspiration. I love to see it. And finally, Forge of Arakaka gives us their version of Matoro, and this one's a little bit different. We got a brand new mask, and quite a different leg design. But I do like this snowflake weapon, as well as the addition of a little bit more translight blue. Yeah, things like these studs and these crystalline armor pieces on the legs. These originally, of course, came on Gully Uniter. We can see one on her shoulder and one on her upper leg. Yeah, including these on Matoro, it makes him feel even more like a Toa of ice. It's good to see his elemental powers accented just a little bit more. And a big old snowflake weapon is really original and just fun. And hey, if you don't like the masks of the Toa Inika, I know some people aren't a fan, well, use a custom one like Forge of Arakaka has done. It looks pretty similar, but it offers a different alternative, which you maybe will appreciate just a little bit more. Maybe you could do the same if you're planning on revamping Matoro. There you go, everyone. That's Matoro Inika. And hey, if you liked the MOCs that you saw in today's episode, be sure to check the links in the description below. Go check out their social media and see what else they've made. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.